everybody, I'm Den Haring. Welcome back to my channel, Fish Den 365, and welcome back to Topwater Tuesday. Today, we're going to talk about the Reaction Innovations Vixen.
How about that, huh?
Okay, so let's talk about this bait. Reaction Innovations Vixen has been around now for quite a while. It's a bait that is designed similarly to the Zara Spook. The shape is different and the action is different. This thing really catches fish. It's so much so that I'm not sure what happened. Maybe one of you guys knows the story with this bait, but they were impossible to get for more than a year, a couple of years, I believe. And now I see that Tackle Warehouse is going to have them available again starting on May 20th. So, I don't understand why this bait was not readily available. Maybe something happened with mold or something. I don't know. Or maybe Reaction Innovation had some kind of arrangement with some other company. Not sure, but these things catch fish. They have a tighter walk the dog side to side action than the Head and Zara Spook does, and they also have some unique rattles in them. So they got two types of rattles in here. I'm sure you can hear the one, a knocker, but there's also a very subtle BBs in there as well. So it's got two types of rattles in there. And I'm not a real big person about rattles in my baits, but for some reason, I don't know what it is. These things, maybe it's the sound that they make. They really do seem to attract fish, and they catch them quite well. I noticed that when these baits became available on May 20th, there's only one size available, the 4.75 inch, which I believe is this one. Let me see about that. Actually, I think that 4.75 one is the smaller one. They used to have two sizes. I don't know if both sizes are still available today or not. And this is a bigger one. These are both I think it's called Silver Shiner color. I like this color a lot. It's got like a mirror inside and some scale pattern and a dark back. Great bait fish pattern. Now they both come with 3 hooks, but this one this smaller one, I take the middle hook off. I just don't see a reason for a third hook on a bait this short. And I'd rather have 2 larger size hooks than 3 little ones on there for 2 reasons. One is the larger size hooks have a better way of gripping the fish, so I have a better hook set on the fish. And more importantly for me, having 3 hooks on here, when you're catching a fish on that and trying to get the fish off, it can become quite the mess. And it's risky to the fish as well, because you can injure the fish if it gets hooks in its gills, that kind of thing. And if you're striper fishing with something like this, that could really be a difficult thing to deal with. So I like to take that middle hook off. This bigger one, I'll keep the 3 hooks on. These baits are balanced very well, and they tend to fish good because of it. One thing that I noticed with this bait is that you could fish it extremely fast, and it doesn't lose that walking action. It just goes very fast, and water sprays up, and it just looks like a fleeing bait fish. And I tend to do better with the Vixen when I do fish it fast. Some baits they don't fish as fast as well. It's harder to fish a Zara Spook fast because it wants to do that wider walk the dog, where this thing does a short, choppier one, and because of that, you can fish it very, very fast. And I've caught most of my fish fishing this thing really, really fast. You can fish it slow too, and you can stop and go with it and experiment with the cadences. But generally for me, if I find that they're chasing stuff down, or if they want that fast to retrieve, that reaction type of strike retrieve, I'll reach for the Vixen before the Spook, because it does a better job than the Spook at that kind of fishing, and in my opinion. And there's others who I've talked to who feel that this bait is better than the Spook, that it just gets them more bites. I don't know if that's true or not. That Spook is a good bait as well. But I do know that this is a good bait if you can get your hands on one. They're not easy to get anymore. Apparently they're going to be available soon, or they're already available now at Tackle Warehouse. So if you can, pick them up, give it a try, fish one, see what you think. The way I fish these, I usually use a topwater type action rod. I like, when I'm fishing topwaters, because I'm doing a twitching technique oftentimes, I like a shorter rod. I usually fish a 6.5 foot rod. I'm using a rod that is made by Daiwa. It's an older rod. It's a light and tough topwater. It's meant for topwater fishing. I have 3 of them because I really like them, and they're a good rod for this type of thing. And so the 6.5 foot, I can throw pretty good distance with that, and because I'm short, I can stand in the deck of my boat and do that downward twitch with the rod tip and not be smacking the water with my rod and still working the bait. And because the baits have good weight to them, I get a good distance. I don't need a 7 or a 7.5 foot rod to cast a long way. Generally, what I'm using for this kind of bait is braided line as my main line, but I'll put a leader of 17-pound test Berkeley trilene. It's a monofilament line, not fluoro. Monofilament is more important to use as your leader when you're fishing topwater because monofilament floats, and so it won't go under the water on you in front of the lure and mess up the action of the lure. Both monofilament and fluoro are stiff enough so that you're not going to get the line hooking up into the front hook. That's one of the disadvantages of using straight braid. Let's say you're fishing at night and you want to use straight braid. Well, the braid is so limp that as this bait's sashaying side to side, the braid tends to get hooked in the hook, and then the bait won't work right. So that's one of the reasons why I'll use leader as well, because I'll fish this at night, but I'll still use that leader so that I don't have that taking place. The leader, I'll generally use a 7-foot long leader, sometimes a little longer depending on the clarity of the water. Well, that's how I fish the Vixen. I catch a good numbers of fish on this, catches some big ones as well. If you have the bait, or if you can get the bait, give it a try and see what you think. Tell me what you think, and let me know what your experiences are with this bait as well. If you like the video, give me the thumbs up. Please share with your friends. Get these videos out there. I'm trying to grow Topwater Tuesday and the channel as well. And by you sharing with your fishing buddies and letting them know that I have this thing going every week, it helps me get the videos out in front of more people, so it's deeply appreciated. Appreciate everyone watching the videos and chiming in. I like that community of fishermen giving each other encouragement and information to help us all become better anglers. I think that's a great thing. We're certified Bassified, all about the art and science of fishing, especially bass fishing. And as always, may God bless your fishing endeavors.